Because you said you're very like obviously opinionated.
Yeah.
You have your strong beliefs. I can feel like that, and you went to political science. Somebody's making a coffee there. And now, how does that affect your relationships, like your romantic relationships? Do you care? Because we have a friend, Gabe,
I'm like,
who's very intellectual, very smart, but he's very like on the right.
On the right. Yeah.
And have you come across maybe on your dating life where you just become
especially
single
here in Miami?
In Miami, a lot of the guys are more conservative on the right.
Yeah.
Would you care, and how would you kind of go about that?
It's so funny because I'm on one dating app right now.
Right.
I'm on Riot, and it's
Riot.
What?
The little caption is like, it's like, if you're a Republican, don't match with me.
That's what it says?
That's what it says. Here's the thing. I mean,
for not wanting to be political of like her business and stuff, literally, like that's what it says.
Because here's the thing, but it does matter because your value systems, and that was one thing in my past relationship, we disagreed on a lot of things. And at the end of the day, that's going to infiltrate how you want to raise kids. That's going to infiltrate decisions like, you know, what's the power dynamic in the relationship? Who's cooking and cleaning? What are the gender roles? What does that look like? And those things do matter. And your political views are often, you know, they often affect your views on other things. They do.
It trickles down.
It trickles down into the emotional stuff. It does. And yeah, to me, like, you don't have to be as, you know, liberal or outspoken as me, but there are some things that are just non-negotiables. Like, you should care about greater issues. If I sit you down and I say, what do you care about? Like, what issues do you care about? And you can't say anything. You just care about making money and living comfortably, then we're not gonna mesh. We're not
gonna see eye to eye.
We're not gonna see eye to eye. If you sit me down and you tell me, you know, that you're used to women being housewives, again, nothing wrong with that. For me, that's just not how I want my man to view women. You know, and then that's gonna trickle down to how he treats me. And then if I can't cook and clean for him, then that's not a good relationship because I can't serve his love languages. Okay. If that's his love language is acts of service, whatever, but it's gendered in that sense. So, okay, that's another thing, you know? So there, and then, your value systems, like how you want to raise your children. Yeah. Religion is a big one. So there's a lot of stuff that comes up, and I think at the end of the day, it's not even politics, it's value systems. Values
and beliefs and fundamental core values.
Yes, but those things do affect
they kind
politics.
Of stem from.
I mean, I think that value systems and morals and all those things are like base level, and then from there you decide what your politics are, what your social views are, what this opinion is, what this opinion is. So at the end of the day, it's not even about politics, is about value systems.
I love that, and I love that you're aware of it. So what is it in your past? You said something about your past relationship. You guys didn't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
Can you comfortably say what some of those things were?
Yeah, we grew up with different backgrounds, I think, you know, and we didn't see eye to eye on certain things like religion, and certain things like gendered stuff. Gender roles and expectations, and I didn't, you know, like, I might have to cut this out, but it's fine. I didn't like some of the podcasts you listen to, like Andrew Tate, and like some of we like really disagreed on that stuff.
Like the red pill.
Yeah, and I was just like, and it was going down that path, like, and I was like, you know what, this is not, and I'm not used to that either because I mean, like that's the like Miami boy, you know, so I'm not used to that, but
Interesting.
Yeah, so it was certain things like that I was like, and even things like money. You know, money isn't everything to me. It's very important, but to me, money can't take place over a relationship. You know, like, but that is also a value system thing. That's like what, you know, your parents teach you. Yeah. And my parents taught me how you treat other people, and travel and self-fulfillment are all more important than money. But somebody else's parents might say money matters more than anything else. But I grew up very privileged, so my parents could think of things beyond money. Other people who maybe have an immigrant background or grew up in more unstable environments, they're going to attach to money. and there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
But that's very different.
But I love that you're aware of that because you come
yeah.
from a privileged background. Obviously,
Yeah.
your parents, I'm sure, worked hard for it. But
Yeah.
you were raised in an environment that could care about more things than other than just money.
Because they didn't need to.
Because they didn't. Because
It's
they already had it in abundance.
Survival.
So they could care about
Yeah.
the education and social economic issues.
Yes.
And probably some of the arts and stuff like that. That's why maybe you draw to that.
Yes.
But other people, art, what is art going to bring me? Is it going to help me
Yeah.
bring me food on the table? So
Exactly.
it's crazy that you're aware of that. I love that. That's
it's
so awesome.
So true. And that's why, like, when it comes down, like, there's no shame in saying we have different value systems simply because we have different individual experiences of the world.
Yeah, as well, yeah.
That's it. You know? And there's no shame in that. But going into a relationship, you have to be very clear as to how that person grew up and therefore how that's going to translate into your relationship and how they're going to treat it and the priorities they have.
That's so awesome. So I guess you haven't really been dating for a while, so I can't really ask you, like...
I've been on a few dates.
You've been on a few dates?
Yeah.
Okay. But like those values that you have, how is that something that seeps through the conversation?
Yeah, how does that get brought up? I was going to ask that too.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what?
Does that get discussed like on the first date and like, hey...
No, it doesn't.
Would you vote for?
Yeah, who'd you vote?
The gun on the table.
It doesn't. It doesn't, but I feel like, I mean, I'm not at a point where I'm like dating seriously right now because I really do need to take a break and think about these things. Like going forward, I think it's very important to when you're thinking about entering a relationship, you need to have a set of like non-negotiables and like boundaries that are translated to that person up front.
Yeah.
Whereas figuring them out throughout the end of the relationship or throughout the middle of the relationship, and then all of a sudden your expectations of that person are different in this and that. So anyways, I'm dating very casually, but in that sense, I'm kind of I'm reflecting on my past relationship, figuring out the biases I had, figuring out how other people's experiences. And so I haven't really come across like, I feel like you can kind of understand where someone's at value systems wise just by having a conversation with them.
You can read them in a little bit.
If I were to enter another relationship, it would definitely be a conversation where I'd be like, these are my boundaries. These are my non-negotiables. This is something that I'm willing to compromise on. This is something I'm not. Whether that be, value systems, timelines with marriage, kids, or a lot of other things.
Yeah.
That just needs to be, when I get into another relationship eventually, that will be part of the initial conversation.